I'm so wavy, I'm so wavy, I'm so wavy.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Rich Wave channel with the waves. It's really rich. My name is Michael Marcelio, and before we get into this story time, ooh, child, this is gonna be a long one. Like I always say, like, comment, subscribe, and turn those post notifications on. So without further ado, let's get into it. So this story time, I honestly should have been done. I don't know what's been taking me so long to do it. I've just been really reluctant to do it. For all you first time smokers, for all the people who don't smoke, for all the people who do smoke and just want to get a good little story of what they didn't go through, or even for all the people who, you know, may have some relatable experiences, I'm here to tell you guys about my first time I've ever smoked and got high. Keyword is got high, because I've smoked prior to this, but this is when I got high. So letting all those people know, this may not happen to you, but guess what? It happened to me, and I can't take it back. I wish I could take it back, but I can't take it back. Long story short, I was just chilling, and you know, I was one of those kids who like to try new things. I'm like, yeah, let me do it. My mom was always like, if Sally jump off a bridge, if you go jump off a bridge. The gag is, I was Sally. I jumped off the bridge before everyone else. Summer of your 10th grade year is like the summer everybody got their little whips, they got their license, people are turning 16, you feel me? So I had a friend from another school, which is like our rival school-ish kind of. She had got a car and she got her license early. So one day, one of my friends had hit me and was like, hey, come to my basketball game, right? So keep in mind, this is like AAU basketball in the summer, you know, stuff like that. But it's still lit, it's still cool. So I'm like, bet, let's just slide. So the girl I was with in the car from the rival school had a crush on him. This light skin, you know, the little Rico Suave dude, you feel me? So she's like, oh my God, we gotta go. I'm like, say less, like, let's just get out the house and turn up, you feel me? So we go to the game or whatever, and then I actually invite my friend who I used to smoke with, you know, back in the day from 9th grade year. And we were still super close, obviously. So we're like, bet, let's just go to the game. We all went to the game, we mobbed to the game. My friend, the light-skinned Rico Suave dude, he was sitting on the sidelines mostly the whole game. He was talking to us like, oh, you feel me? Like, what y'all about to get into tonight? Da, 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 da. And once again, my friend from the different school had a crush on him. So she's like, and I'm like, okay, bet. Like, I'm just the cool one of the group. Just like, bet, whatever y'all want to do, I'm down. Like, I'm the rebel, right? He like, let's smoke. I'm like, oh, bet. I haven't smoked in forever, but I'm like, this is a walk in the park. That's where it started. That's where all the havoc began. We get in the car. It's me, him, the girl who liked him, and my friend from high school that used to smoke with me all the time in 9th grade. The dude is like, I don't have no weed on me. Where do you know we can get some weed? Keep in mind, I knew a good drug dealer who got the dope, the gas, all the good stuff, right? She hit me, was like, oh yeah, Miss Leandro, come through. So she's like, slide. I'm like, slide, let me slide on you real quick. She gets us the dope. She says, hey, this is perp, kush, something. Y'all don't know weed, so don't, you know, some perp, real fat nugs, real fatty nugs. She's like, can I smoke with y'all? I'll give this to you for, I think it was either cheaper or free. She's like, I'm gonna just give it to you if you let me smoke with you. I'm like, oh, bad. But she's like, where do y'all want to smoke? I'm like, oh, I want to be aesthetic. I want to view. She was like, just go to Indian Rock. I'm like, oh, what is Indian Rock? Oh. I'm gonna find out what Indian Rock is, all right. We pull up, it's in Berkeley, it's in the hills. We get on the rock, and it's super not sturdy. There are families out watching the sunset. It literally looks like that Lion King rock, you know, the one's like, you know, that rock. So I'm like, okay, this is not where I'm gonna be smoking at today. So right across the street was like a big bush with a little rock, literally probably 2 feet off the ground type of rock, nothing major. The other rock was about, I'm not good with the measurements, but like 40 feet off the ground. We go to that little booty rock, right? You know, the little baby rock. So we go there, she's rolling up. She's like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do to make this even better? I'm like, what? She said, I'm gonna add some wax. I'm gonna add some Keith crystals. Keep in mind, I didn't know what none of this was. And then I'm gonna put the perp and I'm gonna get the fat blunt. And I'm gonna roll it in a Dutch and it's gonna be fat. I'm like, oh, you trying to get me? Stop. It was over from there. My friend was like, do the honor of taking the first hit. I was like, you do the honor of taking the first hit. You feel what I'm saying? Because I ain't taking nobody first hit. She took the first hit. She was like, oh my God, this is amazing. She's coughing a lot though. And I'm like, ooh, is it that strong, sis? And sure enough, it came time for me to hit it and I don't feel anything. The drug dealer is like, let me show you how to do it. She goes multiple times. She said, now you try. I said, bet. I go exactly like she's doing, right? My friend looked at me, the one I used to smoke with in 9th grade. She looked at me, she said, you about to be fucked up. Y'all, we get down off the rock after we're done with the whole blunt. And let me tell you this. I started laughing, yelling her name. I'm gonna say her name, Janae. I know you don't really care. I was like, Janae! 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 She's like, oh my God. And I'm like, what did I just get myself into? Everything looks like 4D, not 3D, but 4D. Like, she looks like a backyard again. Everybody looks like a backyard again. Everyone looks like a backyard again. And then the song just plays in my head.
Hi, I'm Pablo. My name's Tyrone. I'm Uniqua. I'm Tasha. And my name's Austin.
I turn my head, I'm sitting down, and I'm thinking to myself, I just got laced. Somebody laced me. You laced me. Keep in mind, nobody laced me at all. I'm just high out of my mind. Like stars, the constellations, the moon. It was a nice little moon now. It was a full moon that night too. I should have known. I tell them like, hey, this ain't feeling so hot. By the time I can do that, my friend, who is the driver, the girl from the different school with the new car, she's running up the hill, full speed. Like the Tasmanian devil. I said, oh, we about to have to go to the hospital. I'm about to have to call my mama. It was too much. Keep in mind, I'm supposed to be getting my license and hopefully a car within that month. Right. I get in the car and I'm like, yo, I just want to sleep. Like, I just want to sleep this off. I'm not feeling, I'm in the car like, can I just sleep, please? My mind is going a million speed per minute. They're like, Mike, no, you cannot go to sleep. If you go to sleep right now, you will not wake up. And I'm like, they trying to drug me, because why am I not going to wake up after this? Why my mama called me 5 times? And I had a curfew back then. I don't know if y'all had curfews when y'all was like 15, but I had me a curfew. So my curfew was like 10, 11, because I had to catch a ball. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? They're like, don't answer the phone. I was already thinking just like, she about to tear that ass up. My friends are trying to distract me. We also have food in the back of the trunk from a couple weeks ago when I was in my friend's car. She get the food out. I got the munchies. I had some graham crackers and root beer. I'm like burping a couple times, burping all the time actually. Burping, eating, sipping, drinking, all the stuff. So we didn't have any more root beer at all. And at this point, I'm stressing because then what I get? Cotton mouth. I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? I have cotton mouth. Like my mouth is getting so dry. Like I'm thinking I'm gonna die because my mouth is so dry, right? So you know what? When survival of the fittest happen, what do? The first instinct is what you go with, right? So while I opened the door, I said, swung that door open. I said, I need some water. Who got water? Everybody who was in the hills literally was looking at me like I was crazy. My friend was like, stop, stop, stop. They're gonna call the police. And I'm just like, okay, you know what? I ain't probably got the police called on me. I ain't never got the police called on me. So, you know, just chill out, Michael. Chill out. My friend is in the front seat. She's trying to recuperate so she can drive. She finally is able to drive. I don't know how she did it, but she ended up driving and she drove us to Burger King. I'm like, at this point, I'm shaking, I'm cold, like everybody's trying to calm me down. My mom's still calling. We go to Burger King. I literally was so weak, like I was shaking, I couldn't do anything. My friend had to pay for my meal. He had to feed me my meal, bro. He had to feed me my meal. Like I literally couldn't even eat on my own. So all in all, after that, she dropped us off at BART because she couldn't drive anymore. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna die, because the last BART had just came for me to go home. And I was like, I am in no way, shape, or form ready to go home. My friend was like, well, my mom said you can stay at my place. And I'm like, babe, I'm gonna just have to stay at your place and lie to my mom and be like, look, you know what I mean? Something had happened. Couldn't think of any lies on the spot. I'm usually really good at this, but I wasn't at the time. I had me a blanket on. Literally, you guys, I had a blanket on at the freaking BART station. People thought I was crazy, and I just was shaking like, and it just wasn't it. And me and my friend was just on BART, and we was walking back home. I called my mom on the phone. I said, Mama, I gotta stay at my friend's house. She's like, what you mean you gotta stay at your friend's house? I said, Mama, I got too high. She said, you did right. I told you about the problems. I told you. She's like, bring your butt home. I said, no, I don't think you understand. I can't go home. I slept on the floor that night. I literally can't remember waking up the next morning, but somehow I guess I woke up. I did the walk of shame in my house. What did my mom do? Oh, she canceled my DMV appointment to get my license, and she pushed back the date she was gonna get me a car. So, all in all, for my first time getting high, not smoking because I smoked before, but my first time getting high, it was the worst experience ever. So if you haven't smoked, moral of the story is, know your limits. You won't know them until you actually smoke. Honestly, it just hits you. Hits you right in the face. You really want to do it, be in a safe space. That's all I can tell you. Be in your own house. Wait till your parents leave. Well, I don't care, no, wait till your parents leave, but be somewhere where you know you stand that whole night. Don't be out and about roaming around the streets and don't have a secure ride to your actual house. It just, you know, if you want to be as less in trouble as possible, do that, because it really was not worth it. It wasn't. I flipped out the whole night. That is my first time getting high story. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. My name is Michael Marcelio. Thank you for watching the Rich Wave channel. What a waves is really rich. My waves aren't really rich right now, but you get the point. And I'm gonna see you guys on the next video. Peace.
I'm so wavy, I'm so wavy.